RuneLite is a client for old-school RuneScape that adds immense quality of life for your adventures through Gielinor. Plugins are what some may call add-ons, pre-built into the client, or third-party ones you can install from the plugin hub can help you understand what's going on in the game. I've been requested more times than I can count to make a video on plugins that I use, so that's what we're covering in this video. First things first, make sure that you only download plugins from inside the RuneLite plugin hub built into the client. There are a lot of scams that I have even witnessed firsthand, that someone will try to get you to go to a website that looks a lot like the official RuneLite website to download quote-unquote external plugins that you can't get from inside RuneLite. Don't listen to them. It's a scam. If you download a file from a phishing website, you could accidentally install a virus and/or keylogger and be hacked. Or the virus will run a series of actions that will auto-hop you to a PK world and then disable your USB in Device Manager, thus making your mouse and keyboard not usable, and everything you have equipped or in inventory will be lost. I have seen this specifically at the TOA bank since that area is dangerous, so please be careful and only download plugins from inside the plugin hub located inside the RuneLite client itself. Now on to the plugins. First up is Better NPC Highlight. This plugin allows a lot more customization to how an NPC is tagged, such as its true tile, outline, area, and so much more. I can shift right click an NPC that I have tagged and easily change the color of the NPC. I especially like it in God War's Dungeon for the minions to easily see the attack styles of each one. It's also useful alongside the Entity Hider plugin, so that you can hide your thralls, but still have them outlined. This way, you know you have a thrall up, but it is invisible except the outline, allowing you to see any poison or venom on the floor that may be underneath your thrall. To do this, change the preset colors in Better NPC Highlight of color 1, 2, and 3 to blue, green, and red. Then, in the outline dropdown inside Better NPC Highlight, put the IDs of each type of thrall with a colon and then the preset color number you want it to be. You can copy my settings here to make sure that you have it set correctly. Next, we have a couple that go hand in hand again, Clue Juggling Timer and Watson Clue Tracker. The Clue Juggling Timer does exactly that. It gives you an info box with a timer until it despawns. With the new scroll box update, allowing you to hold more than one clue at a time in the form of a scroll box is nice, but when you want to stack a lot of clues at a time, you can open scroll boxes and then drop the clue, and it will stay on the ground for 1 hour, making it much easier to farm a lot of clues at a time. The Watson Clue Tracker shows you what clues you have stored with Watson. You can type ::Watson to show you in the chat box, or if you hover your mouse over a clue in your bank, you will get an overlay that shows you there as well. Pretty handy. The next two I am grouping together are Corner Tile Indicators and Improved Tile Indicators. You want to have some form of your true tile shown so you know exactly where your character actually is. As I'm sure most of you know, the game is measured in ticks, which is every 0.6 seconds. So when you click something, the game won't actually register the action until the game tick happens. This means that your character may actually be somewhere else than you think. Having a true tile really helps. Personally, I like the way the corner tile indicators look compared to the standard tile indicators. It doesn't really matter which one you have on. I think the cornered one just looks better. The Improved Tile Indicators plugin I only use for the Draw Overlays Below Player or NPC option. This just puts your character over the lines so it doesn't look like the line is going through your character. This is niche, but it looks a lot better. Next, I am grouping together ground markers and object markers. Ground markers just allow you to highlight a tile, whether it be for safe spotting or where to stand for a boss mechanic. Being able to mark a tile is simple and very, very useful. Object markers is similar, but instead of marking a tile, you can highlight an object, such as a furnace or a fire, to help you see where the click box is of the object. I like this plugin to highlight the amulets I have mounted in my POH. Since their click box is small, I can see it through the wall to have a more accurate click. Now on to ground items and Rainbow Rave. Ground items is specifically useful in being able to see with text what is on the ground. I've played this game since 2003, and back then, we didn't have text showing us what was on the ground. You either saw it on the ground, or, you guessed it, right-click a pile and read what all is on that tile. You can highlight specific items or hide them by holding Alt and clicking the minus or plus button that appears on the right side of the item that's on the ground. In the settings of ground items, there is an option to deprioritize menu hidden items. And what this means is if you have an item hidden, you have to right-click to pick it up. This allows you to spam click a pile to pick up everything except the things you don't want, which you have hidden. Rainbow Rave I use in conjunction to ground items. In ground items, I don't use loot beams. Instead, I like to make my items I have set to the insane value glow different colors. In the Rainbow Rave settings, set the theme to rainbow and the ground items to the insane value. This will make any item that's on the floor that meets your insane value threshold you have set in ground items be the theme. Moving on to the next three, which are weapon charges, item charges, and item charges improved. These are all pretty self-explanatory. These will give you overlays and or info boxes showing you how many charges are left on a weapon or item. It even shows you in the bank interface, which is also really nice. Now for some more controversial plugins that I get asked about the most. 117 HD and resource packs. 117 HD is why my game looks the way it does. Better lighting, better textures, and more of a scenic feel to the game. I've heard the argument whether it is better or not countless times, and I honestly think the community is split 50-50. Personally, I really like it. I like the shadows and atmospheric lighting it provides. Note that you will need to have a dedicated graphics card or somewhat of a beefy graphics card in your computer to run this smoothly. If you're playing on a toaster from 2015, you're probably not going to have a great time. The game was made on 50 FPS, so I recommend to have the bare minimum 50 FPS. If your PC runs lower than that, you can fish, woodcut, or do some low-level Slayer stuff, sure, but when you are getting into more in-game content, you may want to invest in a new PC. They are expensive, but a PC is used for many things other than just RuneScape. And if you have the means, I don't think you would regret it. If your PC can't run 117 HD, then you definitely want to be running the GPU plugin. This can help older PCs pull more FPS. Resource packs are different UIs you can choose to make your game look different. It can change the way the inventory, prayers, spellbook, your bank, or even your cursor look or behave differently. I am currently using the RuneLite Immersive pack, but I change every once in a while. Be careful with these because some really change a lot and it can be difficult to get accustomed to. These next ones I also get asked about on almost every one of my videos. How did you get your drop sounds? Well, you can put anything you like as a custom sound as long as you have the audio files saved on your PC. There are a few plugins you can use to do this. The CEngineerCompleted plugin, custom sounds, and chat sounds. I use the CEngineer plugin and alter the files within the plugin to change the sound of something in the game. But I'm pretty sure you could use any other plugin that's similar, such as Odablock's plugin or Bodhi's. To change the audio file that plays when an action is done in game, I go to the .RuneLite folder. To find your .RuneLite folder, you can right-click the camera icon in the top right of RuneLite and open your screenshots folder. Then click the .RuneLite folder at the top. Scroll up to find the CEngineer Sounds folder. You can replace any of the audio files with your own custom sounds, but whatever custom sound you put in here needs to be a .wav file, and you will need to rename it to match exactly what the one you replaced's name was. So for example, if I want to change the sound of Level Up Completed, I would move the .wav audio file I want into the CEngineer Sounds folder and name it Level Up Completed _ R1.wav. Then delete the old level up completed underscore r1.wave. So you are naming your audio file the same as the other one, but it's a different sound. And Bob's your uncle. This will keep it from getting deleted. Custom sounds works the exact same way, except you have access to different things in game, such as when a clue scroll drops or when you max hit, and several other things as well. Use the same method as before and just replace the file with the exact same name, but in the custom sounds folder, also located in the .runelite folder. Chat sounds, once again, works the exact same way. I really only use this plugin for private messages to notify me when a friend messages me and I may be AFK or in a raid and I'm not really looking at messages. It's kind of nice to know when someone messages you. Moving on to ping grapher, action progress bar, and player indicators. This clip actually showcases all of these. Ping grapher shows you the stability of the server. This world I'm on is typically a good one for me to use because it's low ping for me, but as you can see, it's severely unstable. You want the line to be flat with as low latency as possible for the best results. Action progress bar puts an overlay on your screen that shows you how long you have until idle, such as glass blowing light orbs or fletching or any other skilling activity. This is just a quality of life thing that I enjoy having. Player indicators allows you to see the name of the character above their head, but it's especially useful in the wild to draw names on your minimap. If you are camping Chaos Elemental or Chaos Fanatic in the wild, you can see someone's name appear on the minimap before they get too close. Now we are going to talk about Chatbox Opacity, Force Recolor, Player Outline, and Animation Smoothing. Chatbox Opacity. I prefer the transparent chat box opposed to the opaque one, but it can be difficult to see things when it's completely see-through. So Chatbox Opacity allows you to darken the background, making it easier to read the chat. Force Recolor also helps with being able to read the chat or knowing what's happening even out of your peripheral vision. By coloring certain actions in game, you can tell when your imbued heart has ran out, when you bought or sold something on the Grand Exchange, or your kill count of a boss. I've seen several people complain about the red text for your kill count being hard to read, myself included. You can force recolor any chat message with this plugin. It can be a bit confusing on how to use it properly, but it's very similar as to recoloring thralls from better NPC Highlight. Find a word in a text you want to change, such as count in kill count. Then type a colon and whatever number of a color you want it to be. If you want multiple of these, make sure to add a comma at the end and a space after to add another one. Player Outline allows you to see your character through walls, which can be helpful, but it also notifies you when a boss mechanic happens. I specifically like this one for when you get flies at Kefri in TOA. The flies can be hard to see, and if you have sounds turned off, you also won't hear the buzz sound. Having Player Outline on will also outline the flies on your character, making them much easier to see so you can take the actions needed to do the mechanic correctly. Animation Smoothing. This just makes everything look smoother instead of choppy. That can make you seem like you're lagging when you aren't. Next, we have bank and bank tag layouts. The bank plugin built into RuneLite allows you to see the GE price of an item as well as the high alchemy value of an item when you hover your mouse over it. But I especially like this one for the keyboard bank pen option. This allows you to use the 10 key on your keyboard to type your bank pin rather than click the numbers with your mouse. Bank tag layouts. This plugin is so OP because it allows you to re-gear for a specific activity at a much faster rate. You can create custom tabs on the left of the bank interface for each boss, a minigame, or any activity you want. Make sure to check the option Enable Layout by default so that you don't disorganize your normal bank when dragging items to a custom tab. This will also allow you to space out items in your custom tab to make items easier to find or prevent misclicks. The next few go together as well: Hub Party Panel, Party Defense Tracker, and Special Attack Counter. The Hub Party Panel plugin allows you to see everyone who is in the party's inventory, health, prayer, run energy, and special attack, as well as if you venged other them or vice versa. Very handy for multiple things when it comes to PVM. Party Defense Tracker. This shows an info box of any defense reduction special attack. However, the reason why this is so good is because it tracks for everyone that's in the hub party. You will see that its defense is lowered, even though you didn't spec the boss. Special Attack Counter. This one is very similar to Party Defense Tracker, but it will count how many specs you or anyone in the hub party have done. This one is very useful for Corporeal Beast, since you want to spec that boss a lot with different weapons. It'll keep track of what you've already done. These two are also very powerful: Inventory Setups and Inventory Tags. Inventory Setups, I'd argue, is the most OP plugin to have. Have you ever forgotten what you take to a boss? Maybe you used to farm Calphite Queen a lot, but it's been several months since you've been back and you forgot how many prayer potions you brought or what switches you took. This plugin allows you to save your entire inventory and gear setup you take to whatever boss you add a setup for. No more forgetting to bring a rock camera with you to gargoyles. Inventory Tags. This plugin allows you to highlight things in your inventory. For me, I like to highlight all my melee gear red, mage gear blue, and range gear green, or spec weapons white. This allows you to spot the gear you're looking for in a rush a lot quicker, especially when you have a lot of gear switches, such as in a raid. This will help you locate them in your inventory much faster. Moving on to Customizable XP Drops, Skills Progress Bars, and Virtual Level Ups. Customizable XP Drops is another very powerful plugin for a couple of reasons. This allows you to see if you are using offensive prayers, such as Piety, Augury, or Rigor, in the form of an XP drop. Maybe you forgot to turn off your prayers, or if you're flicking, this will allow you to know if you are flicking those prayers correctly. If you have offensive prayers on, then the XP drop will be a different color. My settings, I have the XP drop shown in blue when I have offensive prayers activated, and white when they are not activated. Another really nice feature is the predicted hit option. This will tell you what you're going to hit next to the XP drop before the hit actually lands. This allows you to know if you landed a spec or if you hit a boss quicker before the hit splat is shown on the monster. You can also add custom fonts that are saved in your Windows font folder on your PC. Skill Progress Bars. This plugin gives a bar overlay to your skills, so you can see how close you are to a level without actually having to hover your mouse over each skill and or do any math. It's simple, and that's why I really like this one. Virtual Level Ups. If you're a nerd like me and are 99 in a skill, but still want to see when you would hit a level post 99, that's exactly what this does. Getting dopamine hits post 99 can help you stay on the grind longer instead of burning out. The last two I'm going to talk about in this video are Ground Object Hider and the RuneLite Plugins settings. Ground Object Hider can be really nice at certain places in the game. Specifically, I use it for the fight caves because the ground being lava makes it hard for me to see monsters. This is very nice during a Jad run to be able to see the bats. RuneLite settings. The default RuneLite plugin has some good uses, such as screen flash when idle, which can be good if playing multiple accounts for efficiency, but I want to note one specific setting in here that I really enjoy. That's the overlay color at the bottom in overlay settings. I changed that color to be darker. This allows me to be able to see info boxes a lot better because they have some opacity instead of being fully transparent. I find this much easier to see or read info boxes. This will change the opacity of all info boxes. I keep mine on about 180 opacity, and that seems to be pretty good for me. There's tons of more plugins I could have gone over, but I'm trying to keep this video as short as I can. There's lots of plugins and settings inside of RuneLite, and I could watch the entire trilogy of Lord of the Rings 100 times before I went over everything. I think I covered a lot of the ones I find to be important or a nice quality of life. If this video helped you in any way, drop a like and sub on the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. Stay on the grind, and I will see you legends next time.